3 thumbs up, half a dozen longing stares, and a stoplight worth of flirting with a cute girl in an Audi A3. That's the sort of attention you get riding BMW's nineT racer down the Pacific Coast Highway on a casual weekday afternoon. For a lot of people, I think the review could end right there. No amount of disappointing specs or caveats about a potentially uncomfortable riding position could dissuade you from wanting this bike in your garage and in front of your coffee shop. So, if that's you, read no further. I have nothing more to offer, and I'm sure you'll be very happy with your new purchase. But if you do happen to have some deep, buried curiosity about how the racer actually stacks up as a functional machine, then I encourage you to read on. I won't judge you for it. The racer is the latest addition to BMW's ever-growing lineup of heritage motorcycles that started with their nineT back in 2013. While all these nineT variations have different designs, components, and price tags, they do share an identical 1,170 cubic centimeters boxer engine, one that makes a claimed 110 HP and 86 pound-foot of torque. It may not be BMW's latest and greatest Wasserboxer, like the one you would find on a 2017 R1200 GS, but it's a damn fine power plant and one of the primary reasons that these bikes have so much character. But the similarities largely stop with those twin cylinders. The whole reason that the racer exists is to expand BMW's market share, to sell motorcycles to people that didn't already buy an original nineT. And, as you might assume, the quickest way to a consumer's heart is through their wallet. The racer is listed at $13,295, which is actually $2,100 below the flagship nineT price of $15,395. That's impressive both in how much less the racer costs and how credit card-burningly expensive the flagship model is. Especially for a bike with minimal electronics and an engine that's been around for close to a decade. Of course, BMW didn't just make the racer less expensive because they wanted to be a good guy. The design and paint scheme may look premium, but the hard parts on the bike tell a different story. Starting with what keeps you rolling, both the wheels and the suspension are considered lower spec than the nineT. That means the 17-inch hoops are now cast, instead of spoked, and the inverted fork has been swapped for a cheaper right-side-up one. Add on to this a steel tank instead of an aluminum one, a single seat with no passenger accommodations, a simplified 2-in-1 exhaust, and, well, you can begin to do the math. Then there's the riding position. Not a cost-saving measure as much as a style-improving one, the racer is equipped with lower clip-on handlebars up front and a higher foot peg/seat combination out back. When you actually sit on the bike and find yourself stretched out across the tank in a track mode cup, the name racer begins to make a little more sense. It's a far cry from the relaxed, comfortable, upright ergos found on the rest of the nineT models, but none of those come standard with the fantasy of making every ride feel like a rip around Isle of Man in the 1970s. While we're sorely lacking in the sort of quaint British roads that I imagine a nineT racer would prefer, a day spent ripping around Southern California proved to be more than adequate for feeling out the limitations of the bike. Limitation numero uno, you ask? Comfort. A luxury that is swiftly executed in the name of looking incredibly cool and mysterious as you cruise from what I assume is one gallery opening to another. Whether it's the pressure on your wrists, an ache in your back, or a kink in your neck, it's difficult to escape a long stint on the racer without some minor ailment. For a bike that's destined to be a Sunday cruiser, or for people that swear their GSXR is as comfortable as a touring bike, this probably isn't a deal breaker. But, considering that handling and performance were clearly not the priority when it came to building this bike, it seems like they could have dialed back the aggressive seating position just a touch and we all would have been less hunchbacked for it. Beyond that minor detail, the racer is a perfectly enjoyable motorcycle to fling around town. Those low-spec components never feel like they're really holding the bike back, and I think the trade-off between performance and price is pretty fair. Sudden bumps are a little harsh in the front end and low-speed handling is a challenge, due to the riding position, as much as anything else, but overall the bike performs as you'd expect with off-the-shelf suspension tuning.